Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the CBT podcast. I'm here with Ethan. I'm here with Rod, and today we're here to talk about Ime Udoka. So, obviously, Ime Udoka had a scandal pretty recently that resulted in him being suspended for the entire season, the 2022-2023 NBA season. And as a Celtics fan, I think the only word that comes to mind about this is frustrating. They finally have everything lined up. They have one of the deepest, best rosters in the whole NBA. They're coming off a finals appearance. They have the great system in place. Everyone's buying in. Things are rolling. And then Ime gets a little too touchy, horny. And just like that, the season's chances of a championship are just nowhere near what they were even just a month ago. So, Ethan, you're a fellow Celtics fan. How you feeling about the main man, Ime?
Listen, all right. I was on the boat where I gave Ime 25 days to figure some shit out. Pardon my language, but figure it out in Boston. And when he couldn't produce in 25 days, I was calling for his head on a pike. I was first one there. Those 25 days were up.
Oh, you and
When
me
I
both,
re-
brother.
when we finally realized that he could actually coach and he brought us to the finals, this man deserves all the money in the world.
Mm,
He could get whatever he wanted.
love him. Well, not
Exactly.
whatever he wanted.
That's what got him in
Well,
trouble.
and now we're at the point where he's just over here touching girls. I don't
Well, not
understand.
girls, so not that bad. Women, thankfully, but yeah.
My bad. He's touching women now. It's just crazy to me how someone can do that. I mean, I get it, but you got a wife at home, boy.
Nia
You got
Long, not just any wife,
exactly.
Nia Long.
I don't know how you can do that to your fiance with a whole kid and everything. And it's a downgrade. That's even worse. That's that. I don't have anything to say, Rod.
Well, as the world's number one Celtics hater,
Yeah, knew
I
that was coming.
predicted a lot of reasons why the Celtics would inevitably fail this season. This was not one of them. This is just a freebie that was tossed to me. I mean, leave it up to the Celtics to just collapse inwards on themselves. I couldn't be more happy. I mean, it's just I live for the Celtics downfall, and it's right in front of our eyes. Who was the new head coach? Joe Mazzulla, Posse
Joe
Mazzulla, whatever.
Mazzulla.
Joe Mazzulla, there it is. Yeah, no, thank you. I have no faith. Obviously, as the world's number one Celtics hater, I already predicted that they would be disappointing. But I mean, they're getting ahead on schedule as far as disappointment goes. So shout out to the Celtics.
Yeah, so Joe Mazzulla is only 34 years old, so very young to be an NBA head coach. I want to say he's been an assistant in Boston since 2018 or 2019. So thankfully he did work under Ime Udoka last season. He knows the system that worked. He knows the system that got him to the finals. You got to really just go all out on defense, really sell out. That's their identity as a team, that tough physical defense, best in the NBA last year. So I think if Joe just sticks with what Ime had going last year, they do still stand a chance to win the finals. Now, I've said in the past that the Celtics were the favorites to win the finals. That's just not true anymore. My
Mm.
confidence in this team has absolutely plummeted. I am distraught. And I really just can't believe it. And obviously, like, this is no laughing matter. What Ime did was very wrong,
Yikes.
very frowned upon, should never be done by anyone. But I mean, when you couple that with like Gallinari's ACL injury, it's already starting to feel like everything is going wrong for this Celtics team.
See, I have to disagree. Maybe it's that just Celtics want, just wanting them to get back to the finals. We got finally a taste of it. Finally, after so many years of just disappointments, Kyrie being in Boston, all the full 100 yards. I don't know. Something about this team makes me just hope hope. Maybe Jayson Tatum can step it up. Maybe Jaylen Brown won't have 6 turnovers per game. I don't
Don't
know.
hold your breath.
Malcolm Brogdon, I led the train. No one else.
That's
I
true.
was the first person to throw out there Malcolm Brogdon. Malcolm Brogdon has averaged just in preseason. How many assists? Like maybe nine, eight,
It's right
nine.
around there, right
So
around.
that's something we finally needed. Like, I just, I still have somewhat faith. Derrick White, bench, please. Don't care. Peyton Pritchard, cut the minutes. I just somewhat believe in this team still.
Well, Ethan, I'm here to stomp those beliefs into the ground. The Celtics have no shot. Let's be honest here. I mean, they caught fire late last season because, like JJ said, they just completely bought in. They were the number one defense. It was spectacular to see, really. To replicate being the number one defense in the league is a very tough thing to do because, and it led them to their wins so much because they benefited off turnovers like no other team. You know, they lived in transition. And as long as teams going into the season realize that if they can cut down the turnovers, don't give the Celtics any easy points, they'll figure out that the Celtics half court offense is nothing special. And when you don't have that guy on the sideline to motivate you to play that tough physical defense, play in and play out, you start to slip up. And it's not going to be immediate. They might come out hot to start the season, but as the season wears on, as injuries come along, we're going to see that Joe Mazzulla, whoever he is, he's not the same motivator that Ime was. And that's what really was Ime's strongest suit. He was a player's coach. He got them to where they needed to go mentally and physically. And missing that, regardless of whether or not it's the same scheme, same system, I don't think the Celtics can replicate what they did last season.
I don't think it's fair at all to say that the Celtics stand no shot of winning the finals. I mean, at the end of the day, their roster is still one of, if not the most talented in the NBA. They had it was good enough to get them to the finals this year, and they just added Malcolm Brogdon to that. Now, obviously, they'll be without Robert Williams for the first month or two of the season, which will really hurt them both on the offensive and defensive end because of his offensive rebounding and his lob threat, vertical threat. But I mean, they still have Jayson Tatum. They still have Jaylen Brown. The team is far too good to be not considered to be in contention for the finals, no matter what. For all we know, I mean, it's not likely. Joe Mazzulla could be a better coach than Ime Udoka. It's very, very unlikely, but it's possible. We don't know. We haven't seen it yet. So I'm trying to remain as optimistic as possible. I do think they still stand a chance, but they went from the first place favorite to maybe fourth or fifth after this.
Second, third. What?
Ugh.
Realistically, let's be honest. Realistically, Bucks number one, definitely. I consider Bucks the top. They have the most chemistry. Giannis is a beast. I think he's right now the best player in the league, all things considered. Yeah. KD went fully healthy, but
Give me Giannis, but
yeah, Giannis. After that, I mean, Nets not much of a cohesive team. Sixers still got to see what Harden looks like. The Heat, come on, the Heat.
the Warriors, the Clippers.
I'm just talking about East here.
I'm talking about the NBA.
And the NBA in total, like Clippers.
Warriors
are up in the
Bucks.
air right now.
So that would sit them at a fourth or fifth.
Third. The math isn't adding up for me here. Anyways, beforehand, I would have had the Celtics at fourth behind the Clippers, Warriors, and Bucks. But
it's way too low, respectfully, but carry on.
Behind the Warriors, Clippers, and Bucks. But now at this point, they're now in the middle of that pack. As far as I'm concerned, with 6 teams, if you ask me, competing for that second seed in the East between the Sixers, the Heat, the Cavs, the Celtics, obviously, the Raptors, and then either the Bulls, maybe the Nets. There's a whole list of teams. The Eastern Conference playoffs could shake up. Oh, yes, most certainly the Bulls. They could shake up any way you look at it. And I do not have any confidence in the Celtics, especially in the regular season. They could win 48 games for all I know. That's very much in the realm of possibility for me. So they could be anywhere between 2 and all the way down to 8, if you ask me. It just depends on how much leadership we see out of guys like Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Because when you lose your motivator on the sideline, you need your leaders on the court to step up and try and maintain that standard that we saw from them last season defensively.
I do think this is still a 50-win team. There's no doubt in my mind about that. I think they're hungry after that finals loss. I know Jaylen Brown wore the shoes he wore in Game 6 all summer. I mean, I guess that motivated him, kind of weird, but go crazy. So I like the passion and the energy that I'm seeing out of the Celtics team heading into the season. And I do think they're building something special within the players. And talking about strictly the players, obviously can't talk about the coaching staff right now. But I do think there's enough of that chemistry still there for them to still be a contender. I don't think they're losing as much as everyone's saying that they are. Any final thoughts about the Celtics and or Ime Udoka?
Uh-uh.
Okay,
Well, let's talk about it for a second. Do you think he's coming back after the season? Realistically?
Okay,
Yeah.
now regarding that,
No.
Matt Barnes initially, when the news first came out, he put out a statement defending Ime Udoka, saying it's ridiculous. He should not have been suspended that long. Apparently, he was then given some more information, deleted the tweet, and apologized for defending Ime Udoka. So if that's a sign of anything to come, I think Ime Udoka's coaching career in the NBA is over, especially in today's day and age. This is just not something that you can come back from. It's over, unfortunately. Ime Udoka's last game was in Game 6 of the NBA Finals when they went out sad. So I think that's going to do it for us in today's video. I'm going to ask that you please drop a like, comment, subscribe. Do you think Ime Udoka is going to come back? Do you think the Celtics are still contenders?
No.
Should the Celtics trade Tatum and Jaylen Brown tank and get Victor Wembanyama?
Never.
Thank you all.
Never.
Thank you guys once again for watching, and we will see you in the next video.